the grasshopper in its natural habitat. It stands poised, ready to take off. Okay, we're back again with the Ideafly Grasshopper F210 exclusively from Gearbest.com. So I want to say thanks again to them for sending this out for review. You want to check them out. I'll have a link in the description down below where you can pick it up. Check out my other video. I did an initial unboxing and kind of first impressions with it. Today you can see we're at the soccer field. Hopefully we can get some good footage for you guys. Got a couple of race gates out there. Try to do a little FPV and check this one out and see how this thing does. We'll also try to check out the the camera as well. I'm going to be using a Walkera goggle, and then hopefully we can do a punch-out comparison between this and the Walkera F210 that I have. I think they're really similar price points. Walkera is probably a little bit more, but I want to see if the comparison on speed test between the two. So we'll definitely check that out as well. Obviously you can see we're running the tri-blade props today. So let's go ahead and take it up for a flight and see how this thing does. Alright, so just quickly going over the transmitter here. It's pretty straightforward. It's your normal i6 transmitter with the Ideafly logos on it. All these other switches are pretty much going to be inoperable. They're usable, but they're not functional with this quad. You're just going to have this rate switch here. You're going to have your different flight modes here. We're going to have your agile mode, barometer mode, and full acro. So we're going to go ahead and keep it in that top one. Seen some other videos saying that the barometer hold is not working correctly, so we'll check that one out. Hopefully we don't crash, but let's go ahead and take it up. So first thing we're going to do is arm the quad. It's going to put it in the idle mode by pressing it to the right and cut a little grass with it and see how this thing flies. So this is a Maiden Flight with this as well. Very touchy on the sticks with the throttle. I mean, that's just not even a quarter push with that throttle and that thing is punching. So we've got blue LEDs on the rear and we've got red flashing on the front. Definitely very stable so far. Just kind of checking it out a little bit here, doing some rolls. And this is with the stock 1300 milliamp 45C 4-cell LiPo. Hopefully we'll have some 75Cs or some higher C rating batteries coming soon to check the speed of this, because supposedly it's supposed to be able to hit about 140 some miles an hour. I find that a little hard to believe, but even if it's a lot quicker, would be pretty awesome. But that is with the 75C battery. So very sporty so far. It's actually quite quiet and very zippy. So let's go ahead and do a full punch-out test here. This is the first thing I usually like to do. Check this thing out. So 1, 2, 3. Oh. Okay. I wasn't expecting that. That was pretty awesome. Okay, let's try that again because I was a little scared and got off the throttle. So let's try that again. 1, 2, 3. Holy crap. Alright, guys, that is freaking fast. I think that's going to be faster than my F210 from Walkera. Giving it, letting go of that throttle all the way down, it still has enough to kind of hover down. I did notice that. But holy crap, guys. Sorry for the language there, but that was oh, I'm in love. Alright, so lots of speed, very punchy. This thing is a grasshopper, man. Look at it. Oh gosh, that force. Oh. Not sure what happened there. I think I gave it a little too much roll and excitement. Okay, let's see if we can do some flips with this. Nope. Okay, so in the first mode, you're not going to be able to do flips, but it kind of did a little weird twitchy thing, I think, to just try to auto-correct itself. Whoop, the cover just opened, catching wind. That was a little odd. Let's go ahead and bring this down here. Okay, so be careful with it. Called a little ground. It's very sensitive on the throttle, so you want to be careful with that, because as you can see, that was super sensitive there. So let me go ahead and take a look here. Make sure we didn't mess anything up here. We'll rebound the battery here, and let's go ahead and do another punch out test here. Woo! Man, that's fast. So, one thing I'm not a big fan of on that cover is the fact that if you catch a little bit too much angles on it, the wind will catch it and open it up. Another thing that I noticed, if you leave the throttle stick completely down, I don't know what's going on with mine, but it's a little twitchy. It kind of does a little weird twitch thing in the air. So not sure, probably need to get into clean flight and try to see if we can tune this one a little bit better. But the power's there, guys. The punch is there, the power's there. I mean, that is a fast quad. The one thing is getting this thing down, though, is a little tricky for mine, because you can't let that throttle stick go completely down, at least not for too long. It kind of does some weird things. So see if we can do some line of sight speed passes. See, the wind just caught that lid and just opened it. So let's see if we can close it. There we go. So probably going to want to strap that down with some Velcro, keep that lid closed. It's definitely going to be a must. You don't want that to keep opening like that. Let's do some line of sight passes here. This is not full throttle. It's about half stick. Just trying to get a feel for it. But nice and zippy. So let's see if we can take a look at that barometer mode. We're going to go ahead and land it and see what that barometer mode that we were talking about. See if that is not very functional or not. Trying to get away from the longer grass here. Alright, so let's see if we can start off in barometer mode and see what happens here. We're going to step back a little bit. Arm the motors. So barometer mode, supposed to be full acro. As well. I'm not noticing barometer hold. It just feels like acro. So, not too sure what that is supposed to be. But quite interesting. I did put a little Velcro on the top of that rear cover, on that top cover, so I'm wondering if that's giving that weight a little bit odd weight, and the wind is catching it and opening that cover up. But definitely want to probably put that down regardless. So, not noticing any kind of barometer hold on that. It just feels like acro. So, let's go ahead and put that down for a second. and let's go ahead and put it in acro mode. Alright, so we'll go ahead and put it in acro mode. Arm the motors. Now we have been using the battery a little bit here, but this should be full acro, which it is. See if we can do a flip here without breaking it. A nice tight flip. This definitely wants to climb, so be aware of that. I think this needs to go into clean flight a little bit and get tuned. The throttle on it is so low in the sticks where it just wants to take off. I mean, I know it's a lot of power, but I think the threshold for the power is a little bit too low on the throttle stick, in my opinion. But let's see if we can do another flip here. Bring it down a little bit. Nice tight flips. We do another flip here. Nice and tight. Pretty awesome. We do another one here. Nice and tight flips. Hopefully you can see that. I know I'm keeping it kind of far away, only because it was a little twitchy for me at the beginning, but I reset it, rebound it, and it seems to be acting fine now. Let's try to do a little bit flips a little bit closer for you. Very smooth. Very sporty. Alright, so we're going to bring it down. I'm not comfortable in switching the rates in mid-air, only because of Quadcopter 101's video of the barometer kind of doing some funky things. So we're going to keep this down here, and we're going to flip it back into, flip this back into more of the agile rate, the top rate. Doesn't let you do flips, but it does have a lot more aggressive angles to it. And see if we can do some passes through here. us off with a little punch out test. I got the same LiPo size batteries in both quads, so we got the Walkera F210, and we're going to do full punch out. There's no tuning, it's totally factory. So 1, 2, 3. Powerful beast. Really, really awesome. So we'll do one more time, and then we'll do the new Grasshopper by Ideafly. All right. I want to compare these two because their price points are pretty similar. Ideafly is a little bit less, but go ahead and take it up again. 1, 2, 3. Wow. Very smooth, very expected feel. All right, let's go ahead and take the Grasshopper. So this is the Ideafly Grasshopper punch out test. They're both quads are running fresh 1300 milliamp, 40C, not 45. So I just want to compare the two with the same batteries that I have. So let's go ahead and do full punch out. 1, 2, 3. Holy crap. I don't know if we caught that, but that was pretty freaking quick. Now the challenge is getting it down because that throttle stick, the throttle is so high in the lower portion of that throttle stick. That's one thing that I'm not a big fan of. But man, that thing is fast. We're gonna do one more just like we did with the Walkera. You guys be the test, but I think the Grasshopper's got the win on that punch out. So 1, 2, 3. Okay, I gave that one forward pitch, so let's not do that. 2, 3. Oh gosh, that was quick. Well, you guys can be the judge of that. Like I said, I think the Ideafly ran that one. You know, nothing to take away from the Walkera. I love that. That quadcopter is a beast. And this is a little bit less expensive. And you can tell Walkera is a little bit smoother and flying, but this thing is quick. Alright, so that was the flight review of the new Ideafly Grasshopper F210, courtesy of Gearbest.com. Again, I'll have a link in the description below if you guys want to pick this one up. I gotta say, this thing is a beast. So much power. Very, very fast quadcopter. Definitely not for a beginner by any means. I did do all my tests with the tri-blade props, and as you can see, you know, had a little bit of crashes here and there, and they held up pretty well for those few crashes. A couple things I'm going to recommend with this one is, you know, maybe putting some Velcro on the inside here along the edge or on the side here to kind of keep this from blowing up. I found if the wind catches this the wrong way, that kind of wants to pop open. So keep that in mind. And you know, when you do the LiPo, you want to keep it kind of stored like this to kind of help that cover stay down. But a lot of performance and power. I did find it to be a little twitchy. As far as throttle on the sticks, I found that there was a lot of throttle between here and here. So, you know, I think getting into clean flight, you know, the guys that are, you know, a little bit more skilled at getting into that, I think that would be really optimal to get into there and kind of tune that out a little bit. I think this does need a little bit of tuning. As far as the rate switches, you know, that is your stable mode on the top. I was not able to do flips in that. The barometer mode, I don't know what that is. It just seemed like acro to me. It did fly fine in it. And then of course the bottom one was the acro as well, which, you know, obviously allowed me to do a lot of flips. I didn't stay in the barometer mode for a long time, only because I wasn't sure of it. I did kind of notice that if this thing starts to, if you're decelerating and you keep that stick in the totally down position, once in a while I had the quadcopter like kind of do a weird flip in the air and then recover itself. Not really sure what was going on there. Like maybe something wasn't tuned right, or it was thinking that it was falling or flipping. Not real sure. That was really odd. You know, so I don't like that this when you lower that it really doesn't slow down those props enough. It really, sometimes when you take off, because it's so powerful, all of a sudden you're gone and you're just fighting to try to get it back down without putting this too low, you know, just a little smidge of, you know, from the bottom to try to keep that, try to get that quadcopter to come down, because this thing is so fast, it just wants to climb. So keep that in mind. Definitely going to want to do some tuning to that. As far as power and performance, this thing's got it. If you're looking for a nice quadcopter to get into a lot of nice power. This thing's got a ton of it. The 30 amp ESCs allow for the 4-cell LiPos, which are going to perform a lot of punch out, a lot of a lot of aggressive angled pitch to it. I'm not as skilled of a flyer as far as a racer, but I can tell you this thing is freaking quick. You probably wouldn't want to start with this as a first brushless quadcopter at all. Definitely not the first quadcopter for a beginner. But if you're looking for speed, if you're looking for a nice quadcopter to add to your collection or to get into one that's really quick, I like this one a lot. And for right around 300 bucks or so, there's some coupon codes. I'll put those down below of what they've got going on right now. I think it's a pretty decent deal. I really like the build quality of it. Seems really nice. A couple of complaints I noticed with the 5.8 receiver is it's just kind of like double-sided underneath there, so I'm not a big fan of that because that kind of come loose a little bit during some crashes. So we probably want to find a little bit better way to mount that that transmitter there. And then along with inside here as well, if this battery slips, you're going to be pushing on your wires here and these little standoffs here as well. So I recommend putting an anti-slip battery on there to help reduce the chances of that breaking everything in a sudden crash. But overall, really awesome flyer. Again, did some weird things, some twitchy things in the air. So you want to be mindful of that. Make sure you've got plenty of space when you're flying. That was a little bit concerning. But this is a really awesome, powerful flyer. If you're into the clean flight, definitely want to check this one out. I wouldn't sway you away from that. If you're not so much into that, might want to take a look at some other options, or maybe even take a look into moving into that, learning how to tune these, because you can really probably make this thing a monster, which it is from out of the box, but making it a little bit smoother of a flyer. So hopefully you guys like the video. Try to do as much as I can for you. I might try to upload some more FPV flights. I've got an DVR coming, so I apologize about not having a DVR yet, but got a DVR coming, so hopefully we can record a little bit more FPV flights through those race gates. A little bit more practice with this one, just trying to get used to it. We did all this during that Maiden Flight. So if you liked the video, please give it a thumbs up, and as always, please subscribe to my channel, and we'll see you on the next one. Thanks for watching.